Bam! My peoples. My peoples. Welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get this healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. Y'all know what we doing, man. We talking boxing. But let me kick this thing off by saying, God gave us another day, my peoples. Ooh, thank you, God. Yes, sir. We here. If you're breathing, if you're able to enjoy the sweet science this morning and you're going to have a day ahead of you, it's a beautiful day, my peoples. We here. We talking boxing. Bam! Check this out, man. First of all, let me give a shout out to those already tuning in the building. Toy Mafia, John Parham, On Lace, Chris Fonson, the Lunatic Librarian in the building. God damn, y'all been going at it. Y'all didn't even wait for me. Y'all been going at it. My peoples, let's just start this thing off right away with the main event. Ryan Garcia becomes a world champion for the first time in his career. Now, I don't want to say I told you so, but I told you so. This prediction, it took me some time to make it, you guys. So I literally waited till the last day after the win. I was like, my people, there you have it. This is what's going down right now. Ryan Garcia is gonna handle business. And that is exactly what he did. Drop Mario Barrios in the first round with what? The right hand. Obviously, you guys know the narrative around Ryan Garcia has always been, all he got is the left hook. All he got is the left hook. Mario Barrios visited the canvas, bing, off of a straight right hand within the first 30 seconds of the first round. So, Ryan Garcia established himself early. Like, no, look, I got something else for you to look at. And I think that it got to a point where Barrios was getting hit with such good shots, flush, that he started focusing more on defending himself. Because let's be honest, my peoples, what a performance from Ryan Garcia. He was out there pummeling him. He was having his way with Mario Barrios. Matter of fact, dare I say, Mario Barrios ain't never had his ass whooped like this. Well, because you got to remember, with Tank Davis, he was winning rounds. He was actually winning some rounds with Tank Davis. Ryan Garcia just beat the crap out of him, yo. What? Like, this is not exactly what we expected. Let's be honest. Well, I told you so. I tried to tell you how this fight was going to play out, but some of you didn't listen to me. Let me see if those people show up this morning. I want to hear what they got to say about this. I have to hear it. But not only that, yesterday, I mentioned to you guys, after I made my prediction and the video's up, I said, then Ryan Garcia is going to enter negotiations with Shakur Stevenson. Big fight. Ryan said he's willing to do it at a catch weight, 144. Shakur says that he's down with it. Big fight. This is going to happen. And who does Ryan Garcia says he'll fight right after the fight? Shakur Stevenson, who happened to be in the crowd. Come on now. Chris Fonson, Mario got bad feet. I mean, Ryan Garcia exposed him. I wouldn't say exposed him. It's just that, look, people just don't give Ryan Garcia credit for how good he actually is. He's one of those fighters who he has a lot of people that don't like him. Just yesterday, somebody was telling me, Ryan Garcia's a bum. I'm like, a bum? I can't remember who it was. But how do you say Ryan Garcia is a bum? So obviously, you just don't like him. On Lace, Mr. Smith, did you watch the Jose Luis de los Santos fight? I did not have the opportunity to see those, my brother. Double AD, I've never seen Ryan look so crisp and sharp. Every punch had pop and was so accurate. He was on point. Timing was amazing. Footwork was crazy. He looked really sharp. Even moved his head. Pop, 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 pop. Made him miss, made him pay. Great out there, my peoples. John Parham, Jay Smith. So we're going to ignore your 12 hours late. Nah, we're not going to ignore it. We're going to address it. We're going to address it. Ronaldo, where he at this morning? You know, people disappear, man. People disappear. A lot of those who said Mario Barrios going to knock him out and make him look easy, we haven't seen him yet. Chris Fontaine, nah, Jay. Jay call it. Mario got bad feet, not head movement, just trying to block. That shit don't work. When then Ryan Garcia got that little loop in right hand, boop, that goes around the glove and right in your dome piece, mess up your whole equilibrium. Your whole equilibrium is out of order when you eat those shots. Whoa, my people. Not what a lot of people expected, but it's exactly what I predicted. Then in the ground, Mario was in space. The lunatic librarian. Barrios had no timing. Goose had no advice in the corner. I mean, supposedly, right? Their plan was to apply pressure and have Ryan Garcia fighting over his back foot. But he was winning the fight either way. When he was backing away and counter-punching him. So Ryan was winning no matter what he was doing. That jab too, man. That jab was on point. The lunatic librarian. Timing beats speed. He had nothing. On lace. Goose was horrible. Chris Fontaine. Ryan Speed smoked him. And yesterday when I spoke about my prediction, I pointed out that the difference in speed was going to be a factor. I said that. I was like, yo, Ryan Hands is super quick. Barrios, he's going to eat leather. The only opportunity that Barrios had to win this fight was if he would have hurt Ryan Garcia. Like, catch him with a big shot and wobble him and get him out of his element. Because that's what happened with Rollies. Rollies hurt Ryan early, and then Ryan just didn't recover after that. He just didn't go back to being his usual self. Chris Fontaine, Ryan Speed smoked him. I'm trying to tell you, bro. This was a fight. It was interesting to see how Ryan Garcia, you know, pretty much dominated a world champion to become a world champion. And then what does he do next? I told you this was going to happen. Ryan Garcia calls out Shakur Stevenson. I didn't say he was going to call out Shakur, but I said that he's going to go into negotiations to eventually fight Shakur Stevenson this year. You see it right there. This is a big, big fight, my peoples. Whoa. Both of them coming off of big wins. Both of them world champions. Of course, it would be at a catch weight. Maybe. Because, you know, remember, and I always say this, just because they said it on social media doesn't mean they're going to do it like that. So, but right now, what they've said on social media back and forth is Ryan offers a catch weight 144, and Shakur says, yeah, I want it. And you see right away, Shakur's at the venue watching. Ryan says, yeah. What's up, Shakur? This is looking good. This is looking good, my people. We might actually get Shakur Stevenson versus Ryan Garcia next. Like, this could be their next fight. The timing is perfect. Think about it. Shakur Stevenson's stock skyrocketed after he dominated Teofimo Lopez. And now Ryan Garcia, who's such a big star already, his stocks skyrocketed too. And now he's a world champion for the first time in his career. Shakur's bunch of division champion, lineal champion, Rank Magazine champion. What else you want? This right here's a big fight, yo. I hope they make it happen. Mr. D. Bonilla, if it's at a catch weight at 144 and Ryan loses, he's still the WBC champ at 147, right? No, if it's at a catch weight, it's still in that division. It's still within that division. Let me give you an example. When Floyd became champion at 154, he didn't fight at 154. He fought at a catch weight. And if I'm not mistaken, so did Manny Pacquiao. So, no, you win the title. John Parham, I think so, yes, you win the title. If it's at a catch weight, yes. Then on the ground, once again, Jay Smith, your pick. pick the winner. That's what I do, bro. It took me some time, but there you have it. Ryan Garcia got the W. I try to tell them, bro. I try to tell them, but people don't want to listen. People don't want to listen. And then what's gonna be next? Look, I didn't just tell them who was gonna win this fight. I told them what was gonna be next for Ryan Garcia after winning this fight. Shakur Stevenson. That's what's next right there. Mr. d0g, oh, that's right, 147 is the limit. Accurate, my brother, 100% correct. And look. The only surprise that I got yesterday, and I think you guys it was a surprise to you too, this one right here. I said Frank Martin's gonna cook him. It's gonna knock him out. This guy's 17-2, like 7 knockouts. Nah, Frank gonna cook him. Yo, after that last bell, you wonder who won that fight. Last bell, beep, beep, beep. You're like, God damn, who won that shit? I was close. That was close, my peoples. You didn't really know, yo, Frank Martin won this fight after the last belt. They really went at it. This thing turned into a fight. Ronaldo, Frank let that fight get out of his hand. Bro, I'm telling you, I was not sure that he won the fight. Mr. d0g, I couldn't believe how bad Mario Barrios looked, bro. I put money on Albright here. It was a draw. I got my money back. Chris Fontaine, I didn't catch the fight. Frank got packed. Yo, Frank Martin ate all types of leather, bro. All types of leather. When I tell you all types of leather, Albright was landing big shots on him. And even at the end, when the fight finished, Frank looked like he didn't know that he won the fight. You know when the last bell ring and you see a fighter's concerned, like damn, what's gonna happen over here? So yeah, man, Frank Martin got punished. I mean, it was a competitive fight. It's not like he got washed. He was doing his thing too. But Albright, bro, was landing some big shots on Frank, and he was consistent with it too. Wes Dustin, J. Smith, I fell asleep after the Frank Martin fight and missed the whole event. I nominated myself for goofiest of the goofiest. Nah, yo, listen, you got knocked out too. You was one of the knockouts from yesterday. John Parham, bro lost me with the vocals. Benjali, mi amor, mwah. Wes does it. It's so hard to win a fight. Just yesterday. John Parham, Wes, nah, bro. Jay Smith, the goofiest of the week. Bro didn't even show up last night. Nah, but it's a reasonable explanation. Mr. d0g, I chose Albright for a few reasons. One being that he started young while Frank started late. You could tell Martin was happy for a draw. I mean, I'm telling you, man, when that last bell rang, I was like, ooh, Frank Martin may have gotten got. Frank Martin took some punishment, my peoples. But, I'm going to remind you something. What did I say yesterday about Antuane Russell and Buddy that he was fighting? What I said about this fight? I told people, when you see a Japanese fighter who got an undefeated record and a high knockout percentage, bro, they be earning those. Them Japanese fighters is always tough. And I said, Antuane Russell gonna have his hands full with this guy. And I don't even know him. Never seen him fight. But just from experience, from what I've seen in these type of fighters, they're always super tough. They always, you know, those fighters that's like a machine that they're going to take everything you got. They're going to keep going at you. And then they got firepower behind that. They always turn out to be those type of fighters. And Antuane Russell was involved in a slugfest. A slugfest. Yesterday, again, I have people telling me, nah, easy work for Gary. It's going to be easy work. People think, well, this guy, I don't know this guy. He's not famous. He's not a superstar. Yeah, easy work. It don't work that way. It doesn't work that way. He went to, I'll put it to you like this, man. Like, at the end of that fight, I was like, damn, who won this fight? It was a unanimous decision for Antuane Russell. All the judges saw his favor. And I respect the decision. But it was a tough fight. He was involved in a tough one. Mr. d0g, I saw his record. He's got a KO record against losing fighters. But what came him in the fight was he didn't know how to lose. Gary pulled it off, but could have done better. He's a tough opponent. But here's the deal. When you say losing records, it leads people to believe that, oh, those are just a bunch of bums. And people don't realize that a lot of these fighters are really good. They just keep facing them against each other, so they end up having losses. But these Japanese fighters, they go up facing tough opponents that be like that. Big guys with 3 losses, 4 losses, 5. You automatically assume, oh, this guy's a bum. And nah, it's a real good opponent that we just don't know about. But I digress, my peoples. There you have it right there. Right there. Ryan Garcia becomes a world champion for the first time in his career, like I told you he was going to. And if you watch this show long enough, you know that I've always said, I feel like Ryan Garcia will become a world champion. You know, I look at him, the skill set that he has, the power that he has, and just the whole package. You know, we see some flaws, and people love pointing out flaws, but they don't focus on the positive enough. And Ryan Garcia is a fighter, you know, he's such a big star, and one of the main reasons why he was so disliked is because he had not accomplished. People felt like, why this guy is such a big name? Why he making so much money? He hasn't done anything in the sport of boxing. There you have it. Now he's a world champion. Now what are people going to be able to say? That's it. He got to the top. Now, what is he going to do with this? Is he going to be able to defend? Is he going to be able to unify? Is he going to be able to... Let's see. It looks like Shakur Stevenson may actually be next, which, by the way, I predicted that. Yesterday, I was like, you're going to win this fight, going to enter in negotiations with Shakur Stevenson. And they're going to make that fight. John Parham, his mental was right. Wes Dustin, he was given that belt by Mauricio the Goofball Sulaiman. My bad, Wes Dustin. I didn't mean to add that part to your sentence. Chris Fontaine, I got to give him his credit. Double AD. Was that the best round we ever saw? If he is, does this round beat the best version of Haney? That's a real competitive fight, man. I've always said, is it possible that Ryan Garcia has Devin Haney's number? Is it possible? Because if he had his number, if he has it, then a rematch could play out exactly like the first one. Where Devin Haney is outboxing him, but getting clipped with those shots, and then it turns into disaster. Wes Dustin, good fight for Shakur to get good money. Ryan Garcia versus Shakur Stevenson. That's a big fight, yo. That's a big fight. They're both obviously will get a lot of money. But, you know, it's a fight that we want to see. And I guarantee you, listen, there's going to be a lot of people rooting for both sides. And a lot of people saying, you know, people want to see Shakur lose so badly. People want to see Shakur get knocked out. They want to see Shakur get hurt. So you're going to see those predictions. Yeah, Shakur's going to get knocked out. He's going to get caught with that left hook. People are going to start predicting that because a lot of times people don't predict what they think is going to happen. They predict what they want to happen. Mr. D. Bonilla, this one was a difficult one for me to Ryan because of his inconsistency. Also, Ryan knows he don't need boxing for money. If Ryan wasn't as famous, he'd only have a tank loss. I mean, ultimately, man, he accomplished that final goal. He became a world champion. So the losses right now, they're in the back burner. Nobody care about those losses right now. Tank, look, he lost to Tank. Where's Tank at right now? Tank dealing with legal issues. He's not even in boxing right now. He lost to Rollies. But look where he's at. Look where he's at, the world champion. Man, yo, I'm telling you, Ryan done shiznitted on a lot of people. A lot of people feelings is hurt. Because imagine if all this time you've been saying Ryan is no good, he's a hype job, he's a bum, he's not. What you gonna say now? He's a WBC champion. He a world champion. And he not a paper champion. No. He beat a reigning world champion who got his title in the ring. Because Mario Barrios isn't a paper champion. Now let's get real with it. He won his title inside the ring over who? Over Ugas, who got that title off of Manny Pacquiao. So Mario Barrios is a legitimate champion. And now Ryan Garcia beats him to grab his own belt. So nobody is going to be able to jump on him and say, oh, that was emailed to Ryan, or, oh, nope, got it in the ring. Dead on the ground. When Ryan is straight in the head, that's when he's at his best. On lace kicks. John, can't forget, he got the belt emailed to him. J. Smith Barrio was cheeks. Brown paper bag. Wes Dustin, the WBC is going to be a second-tier belt. Conor Benn is next. Then Rollies. Trash at 147. Nah, listen. I told you guys. The downfall of the WBC has already kicked off. That thing is going to turn into a trinket. Trey McCorkle. Garcia ain't that great. Barrios is washed now. Damn, this is the first time that I ever heard that Barrios was washed, bro. Like, I've never heard that before. I mean, he isn't that great. That means that to you, he is great. He just isn't that great. But you know what he is? And it's not up to debate. A world champion. That he is. On lace, Mario Barrios became a champion by winning the vacant WBA regular light title September, defeating by decision. Yeah, but then after that, what he do? He beat Ugas after that. Right? He did beat Ugas to win the full title. But I digress. Ryan Garcia is the world champion. Don't be mad at me. Listen, I'm only the messenger. Okay? Jay Stradamus only going to deliver the message to you, and then you're going to do with that what you will. Chris Fonson, Barrios, a turkey burger. I said it. Okay, but that's a turkey burger world champion. You have to know how to deal with it better, man. Deal with it more gracefully. Ryan Garcia did what people said he could not do. He would not do. He a world champion, y'all. Just digest it. John Parham. Who can remember the young bull who got the 4-round stoppage yesterday? He 15-0. Nah, I'm not gonna butcher his name. He's a kid like he's Arab, right? Trey, congratulations to Garcia, but he won't hold the belt for long unless he uses the Canelo blueprint and fight bumps. On lace, Barrios captured the WBC interim title against Jordanis Ugas. There we go, in 2023. And was elevated to full WBC champion in 2024. So you see, he had to fight Ugas, though. He a legit champion. John Pound. More like a bologna sandwich. Sad. Let it sizzle. Yo, you gotta let it sizzle in your spirit. That's what I'm talking about. It's sizzling for sure. Listen, if you've been a Ryan Garcia hater and you've been saying that he's not gonna do these things, it definitely is sizzling in your spirit, bro. West does it. Anybody notice that there are less low blows recently? Seems like these matchups are getting better. It was some good matchups. And all three of these fights, look at that. Frank the Ghost Martin, a draw. He went to war with his opponent, bro. They really went at it. Then you see Gary Antuane Russell, a dog fight. And then right here, Ryan Garcia, the main event, showed out. Sai says Hitchens got cold feet. Whoa. What do you guys think about that, man? Hitchens get cold feet? Oscar De La Hoya is like, yo, we got to investigate this joint. Oscar De La Hoya is like, nah, because he was good in the way. He was good in the morning. And now he going to pull out talking about food poisoning. I thought I heard the flu. I don't know. Tyrell, I never was impressed by Barrios. I mean, he was a world champion. Ryan Garcia became a world champion. That's it. He found a way, bro. I always felt like that was going to happen. One way or another, he was going to hold the belt. He got it. Got to give him his credit. Mr. D Bonilla, Ryan needs people to doubt him for him to prove someone wrong. That's his motivation. Wait for Rolly. Everybody thought Ryan was going to win, but he lost. The moment he feels doubted, he shows up. Now, honestly, I think it's more simple. I think Rolly's, he kind of slept a little bit on Rolly's, and he got caught with a big shot early on. He never really recovered to himself. Now he became a little bit more defensive oriented and didn't fight his fight. Tyrell, yeah, true. He was a champion, but just wasn't impressed. Glenn Johnson, Ryan actually looked solid. I made my prediction. I said Ryan Garcia is going to win this fight, and I felt confident. I felt comfortable with that. I tried to tell the people what was going to happen. Ryan Garcia, and I want you guys to think about this. With the star power that Ryan Garcia has, right? And he had never won a title. Imagine now. You already seen him having endorsement deals. You see him in commercials. You see him, brand stuff. Imagine now that he's a world champion. His star power just went like this. You're going to see him having more followers across all social media platforms. You're going to see him making all type of crazy money. Like, he's already one of the biggest stars in boxing. But yesterday's price is not today's price. Ryan Garcia prices went up a lot. Trey, this is a gloating moment for you. Look at who he beat. Barrios ain't going down as a legend. Again, Ryan Garcia becomes a world champion. Regardless of your hate and ass opinion, it is what it is. You're going to have to deal with it. Don't be mad at me. You're mad at me because Ryan Garcia's star power just skyrocketed. You mad at me for telling you what's going on. I'm just telling you the reality. If he's already a big star and never held a title, and that's part of the reason why a lot of people didn't like him. Like, come on, man. This guy, hasn't won a title, and he ain't even a champion. He a big star. Well, now he a champion. Now he is. On Lace, Ryan got the WBC chain. Diablo, WBC trinket ass, bullshit ass, Mauricio seeking for attention, goofy ass, pendant. Look, I told you yesterday, that chain says the WBC getting desperate. They're like, damn, man, fighters are now saying F the WBC, more people going over there to zoo for boxing. We're going to have to figure something out to make this thing more attractive. Give them a chain, give them a chain. They're going to like that. They like chains. Goofy ass. Trey, y'all acted like Barrios was somebody. That was all I'm saying. I mean, he was a world champion, bro. Usually when you're a world champion, you're somebody. So, I'm just saying. John Parent, West. Ryan definitely slept on Rollies. West. Devin beat Rolly. Ryan beat Devin. Rolly beat Ryan. That circle. That circle of life. Trey, I want to see rematch of Haney versus Garcia. Look, man, Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia, it would be a super anticipated rematch. Devin Haney says that ship has sailed because Ryan wasn't involved in VADA testing. Ryan pulled out some paperwork and said that they were doing VADA testing. So, I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever get that rematch. You know, Devin Haney had that energy about him. He was saying, yo, we going to rematch Ryan Garcia. We got to make this fight. And then all of a sudden, it's like that energy went away. It was recently, like maybe a week ago, that he was like, nah, the ship sailed on that fight. We not fighting him. So let's see. Clifton Dennis, we can't move forward until Ryan and Devin get juice for the disgraceful PEDs. But Clifton Dennis, didn't you say Mario Barrios was going to beat Ryan Garcia? Because I don't see a lot of people admitting, you know, the Barrios fans from yesterday don't seem to be showing up. But if I'm not mistaken, you said that Barrios was going to get him. Beat him up. Is that what you said yesterday? Underrated Will. I want to see that rematch. I think we all want to see it because, look, even though Ryan did give Devin Haney the beating of a lifetime, beat him up, he showed up 3 pounds overweight and tested positive. We got to look at the facts, right? We can't just say he beat him up. Yes, it was, you know, a pummeling session. Yes, he battered him. But you had an advantage. 3 pounds overweight, tested positive. So that's not going to just disappear either. We can't forget about that beating, but we can't forget about that cheating either. We remember everything, right? West does it. I think Ryan versus Devin 2 happens way too late. Like Jones Hopkins. Damn, man. Don't say that. Don't say that, bro. Clifton Dennis. Someone told Jay I had Ryan for weeks. John Parent. West, I agree. If you told me you had Ryan for weeks, I'ma rock with you on it. I'ma rock with you. Bam! Ryan Garcia, my people, becomes a world champion. Where are those who said, I'ma be there for Sunday's episode of Boxing for Breakfast? Where they at? On Lace. Is Ryan now cracking at 147? Or is Barrios that resilient? Because Ryan left hook connected a couple of times. Yo, some fighters can take a shot. Some fighters can take a shot. Barrios is one of them. Think about it. Tank Davis stopped him in the last round. And throughout that fight, Tank Davis was landing some big shots. And it took him till the very last round to get the stoppage. Clifton Dennis. Jay, I forgive you for mistaking me for another. Santiago. Hit that like button, my peoples, and subscribe, no doubt. Man, got at least 17 likes, and we almost been at it for 45. Listen, I understand there's some people out here that may be upset because Ryan Garcia did what I told you he was going to do. Greg Hackett is in the building. Salute, my brother. Bam! What you think about Ryan Garcia yesterday, man? I tried to tell the people he was going to become a world champion, but they wouldn't listen. Now they want to be ghost watching and shit. Now they want to be quiet. Now they want to, change their minds and shit. Double AD. Jay, what's your thoughts about Ryan's dad being the guy his corner in elite fights? You think he has what it takes to prep his son and corner against Shakur or Devin? I don't think so. I don't think he should even have Pop Dukes on there, but that's his father. He loved him, and it is what it is. Oh, Lace, Gregory's in the building. Greg Hackett, he looked like Ryan Mayweather out there. Whoa. Looks sharp. And at welterweight, I feel like Ryan and Devin have shown us that they're where their body feels really good at. They're at their best. Both of them. Because Devin Haney, he got all the weapons that we used to see, but now he added power to the entourage. So Devin Haney's a whole different animal right now in that division with what he did to Brian Norman Jr., but Ryan Garcia showed us. And then he dropped him in the first round with a right hand. Everybody's like, the left hook. It's all about the left hook. That's all he got. Boom! Gave him the right hand, dropped him. And you see that little looping right hand that goes around the guard? He kept catching him in the top of the dome piece with it. Bang! Right over the guard. Ryan Garcia, dangerous. Dangerous. And you know how you can see the difference in speed? Barrios had the height and reach advantage. And Ryan Garcia kept closing that gap so fast, bang! He couldn't react. He didn't have the time to react for Ryan Garcia's speed. Aroma Sound. Who had a better performance in your opinion, Ryan or Shakur? Now I gotta say Shakur because Shakur had the better opponent in Teofimo Lopez. So you gotta give it to Shakur. But Ryan was elite level stuff. Elite level stuff. Yeah, I wanted the fuck out, B. Word. God damn. Hold on, because come on, Greg Hackett is my G. Yeah, I've been slipping on that. That's my guy. That's Greg Hackett, salute. So the expectations from a lot of people was that Ryan Garcia, his mind wasn't right. I didn't delete nothing. That Ryan Garcia, his mind wasn't right. And I spoke about that yesterday. You see how people were saying, yo, Ryan Garcia is going to a bunch of podcasts, and he's on a bunch of shows, and he's looking like he's not focused. Remember that? And then I said, wait a minute. We all been following Ryan Garcia for how long already? He does this. He always does this. Before a fight, he's like on a world press tour on social media where he's everywhere. He's on this podcast, that podcast, talking about the fight. He's used to this. He does this all the time. So when I thought about it, I was like, nah, I'm not going to consider this to be a distraction. Because Ryan Garcia is such a big star that he's used to doing that. That's never going to be an indicator of what's going on in training camp. He could be all over the place. But when he's in training camp, he could be locked in. And I chose to believe that that was the case. Remember, title opportunity versus Tank Davis and another title shot versus Rollies. He lost both of those. This was the third time. He had a chip on his shoulder. He needed to get that. Clifton Dennis. The right was a new wrinkle in his game. He needs to really get comfortable with it because it'll help tremendously. That right hand was nasty. Boom, over the top. Look, he was doing it straight over the top and then a little bit looping. Bang! He was catching Barrios with that one. Slide counter. That was interesting. Shakur brought up Vada after the Ryan win. Because I guess there's been some back and forth about whether or not him and Barrios was doing Vada testing. Ryan said that they were, so I don't really understand what's the confusion or the misunderstanding with that. What the hell's going on? Jamie Turk, good morning. What's your take on Gervonta Davis? He's dealing with legal situations. Let's see what happens. Clifton Dennis, Shakur wants Vada. So what's really Devin's excuse? I mean, I don't understand, because if Ryan's saying, yes, I agree to vital testing, then that's it. I think that an excuse is that at some point Ryan dropped out of testing or something like that. And because of that, the shift sell, he's not going to give it an opportunity anymore. I don't know. Aroma Sound. He had a title opportunity against Devin too, but he messed that up with the weight. So this is technically number 4. There you go. There you go. Ryan Garcia has gotten some title shots. Hasn't been able to win the big fight. He finally got it. Finally became a world champion. Like I told you, my peoples, I saw this happening. And I saw this happening too. Him calling out Shakur Stevenson. Well, I didn't say, I missed that part, man. Damn, I wish I would have said that too. But I said that he was going to enter negotiations to fight Shakur Stevenson next. So I think, them going at it right there in person is a pretty good indicator that this can happen. Unless that once Ryan's 365 testing, basically getting tested when he's not fighting. I know, but you see that's a different push right there. Cause a fighter doesn't have to agree to testing when he's not fighting, he doesn't want to, but that's really what VADA is supposed to be. That's supposed to be the function of VADA. Not that you enroll before a fight, but that you enroll 365 so that they can randomly test you at any time. But I understand also why somebody wouldn't want to be in that. Because you got to think about it. Do you want VADA to show up to your home on a random day, you're chilling with your family, and they just show up? Or you could be anywhere and they just show up. So that's got to be something uncomfortable to deal with. Orange Man Fan Club. They can't call him a YouTube boxer anymore. They can't. That's it. He's a world champion. I Am Casual Boxing. What would the narrative be if Ryan lost? I mean, if he lost, the narrative would be that he lost. That's it right there. Slight counter. Crocker is the IBF champion at 147, but unfortunately for him, he'll never be talked about. Wait a minute. Because Keyshawn Davis said that he's interested in moving up and fighting Crawford. So he could be involved in a big fight. West doesn't. Barrios might as well head on over to Zoo for boxing. By the way, Andy Ruiz is also another one that seems to be on his way. MAW, salute Jane Chat. Congratulations to all deserved winners today, including Ryan Garcia. Smash that like button, my peoples. We almost going on an hour, not even 30 likes. Too much ghost watching going on around here. Salute MAW, bam. Underrated Will. Let's not do Barrios like that, man. That's the thing. When somebody get a big win, the haters are immediately going to diminish, discredit their opponents. Jamie, so does the Nick Diaz rules apply in boxing? I don't even know. What are you talking about? Nick Diaz? Oh, my God. There you go. That's Nick Diaz for you right there. John Wayne. Salute. Good morning, Box Center. Salute, John Wayne. Bam! In the building. What do you think about Ryan Garcia becoming a world champion yesterday? Is that something that you saw happening? Are you surprised that it did happen? My peoples. Wes Dustin. I'm going to be mad at Barrios for giving Ryan that belt for a minute. It happens, man. It happens to the best of them. Aroma Sound. I saw the face-off between Benavidez and Sudo. And this is the first time Benavidez looks smaller than his opponent. Now he fought. I forgot the name of the dude, man, but that dude big too. Big dude. But I'm going to tell you what, man. He going to beat Sudo up. Beat him up, bro. John Wayne, I was happy to see Oscar in Ryan's corner. And you saw that they're getting along. They're getting along good. John Parham, I was lost with that comment. Slide counter. Sometimes people just need to go somewhere else. Slide counter. Who you thought won the Russell versus Iraoki fight? Ooh, you see? First of all, I'm surprised that Russell got a unanimous decision. And second, when that last bell rang, I wasn't sure. I thought, yo, somebody's going to win this by split decision. This could be a draw. I don't know, man. Iraoki was putting all type of hands on Russell. And at times had him on the defense. On Lace, too much activity for Sudo. Yeah, I think the punch output from David Benavidez is going to be something that Sudo won't be able to deal with. West does Oscar always show up for the wins. Left Ryan cold when Tank beat him. Booked it. Got the hell out of town. Look, man, all I know is that right now, Ryan Garcia became a world champion and he thanked Golden Boy, says everything is good, gave Oscar a hug and everything. So I know that right now, business-wise, they're in a good place. Underrated Will. Do he get the chain? I mean, I don't know if they gave it to him. If they gave it to him or not. Or if they're going to give it to him later or something like that. Star, he's a cheat. Let's see. Let's see if or when they're going to give it to him. Okay, hold on. I just realized that we got a dummy in the building. We getting this dummy out of here. Wes does it. I forgot about the blink belt. I mean, I don't know if they're going to give it to him. They didn't present it to him in the ring. So maybe they're going to have a whole separate ceremony for that. Just to present him with it. And they'll do like a little video. Ryan Garcia, you're the first one to win the WBC championship chain and pendant. Goofy ass shit. Zay, Barrios wasn't even throwing punches. It's hard to throw punches when you're getting beat up, bro. When you got somebody that's too fast for you and they just getting you, it's hard to throw punches. You thinking more about blocking them. Remember how we spent all that time? Broner, let your hands go, let your hands go. That really kicked off after Maidana put the beats on him, bro. Once somebody hit you, that could rewire how you fight. Aroma Sound, Conor Benn was hugging Eddie Hearn at Shakur fight just 2 weeks ago, too. Man, did him dirty. And there's even a video out there of Conor Benn saying, nah, you know, Eddie Hearn, they stuck with me. I remember the steroid shit? When Conor Benn was suspended, Eddie Hearn stuck it out with him. And he was saying, yo, when I went through it, a lot of people just left me to the side. Eddie Hearn stuck with me. So I'm going to be loyal to Matchroom. And they even asked him, what if they offer you double to fight somebody else? He was like, you know, that wouldn't even make no sense. But if they did offer me double, I'll still stay with Eddie. Because, you know, how he's shown me. And damn, bro, went over signed with the competitor. Didn't even give him a call to say, yo, bro, look, I must do it. Eddie found out on social media just like us. Golly. Conor Benn did him the dirt McGirt. And Chris Eubank Jr. is having fun with it, too. He posted about that. He said, 2 scumbags. The real King George, my boy Ryan did it. I try to tell him, bro. I try to tell him Ryan was going to do it. Now, it's going to be tough for people to discredit him like they did before. Because the knock on him is that he ain't accomplished nothing. He ain't done nothing. He a world champion. That's it. You can't take that away from him. Got to respect it. Are we going to get Ryan Garcia versus Shakur Stevenson? I hope so, man. I really hope so. That's a big fight. And you have to think about it. The timing for this showdown is perfect right now. Why? Ryan Garcia is a world champion. His stock is way up. Shakur Stevenson became a world champion in the 140 division. His stock is way up. Right now, them two meeting up is the perfect time. It's never been a better time for them two to fight each other. And the way that they're setting the stage, it's perfect. Think about it. For weeks already, Ryan Garcia been posting, I'll fight you at a catch weight. We'll fight at 144. And Shakur Stevenson like, let's do it. What's up? So all of that has been setting up the stage for this. Now Ryan Garcia fights Mario Barrios. Shakur's in the crowd. Ryan Garcia becomes a world champion for the first time. And what he does, call out Shakur. Say, yeah, I want that fight. They meet up backstage, have a little exchange. So they setting up the stage perfectly to fight each other. And this fight, it sells itself. They're going to promote, but this one promotes itself. John Parham. Yeah, I think Zay is the one talking yesterday on Ryan losing. Damn, so Zay ain't saying nothing today about that? Zay, Barrios wasn't even throwing punches. That's all you got, Zay? Damn. That's all you got. I thought you was going to at least give credit to Ryan. Wes Dustin, Jay Smith. Who will you say the top 3 welterweights are skills-wise? I got to think about that. Well, you got to put Devin at number 1. Devin has to be number 1. I got to think about that, to be honest. 2 and 3, I really got to think about it. Zay, that was a fixed fight, hands down. You see? That's what happens when you don't get the results you want. You get into conspiracies. You start making stuff up out of thin air. That's what happens. You should have been listening to me. If you would have been listening to me, you would not need conspiracies this early in the morning. On lace kicks, John, body shots are definitely a problem. You seen that right hand to the body and the left to the body? Did you guys see that? When he would jab and right hook to the body, bang! Or jab and left hook to the body, bang! Peoples. You have to understand, Ryan was in his bag. The real King George. Zay is like Hydro, talking trash. That's it. We gotta let Zay be Zay. John Wayne. That man said fixed. Yo, we needed some comedy this morning. Aroma-san, you seen that many times. It's like Conor. Conor would be one of those fighters at 147 because of his styles. Won't get a shot with these champions today. Man, that style, that herky-jerky, he's somebody, man, that is hard to look good against. Like, these guys will beat him, but they're not going to look good doing it. And people don't want to fight a guy like that. Zay, anybody knows that Ryan gets special treatment? You got it, man. You got it, Zay. Cool. We already know everything that you're going to say. We already know. Your boy got his ass kicked, so now you got conspiracies. You should have been saying that yesterday. Not after you took an L. Don't take an L and then come with your stories. On Lace, we're not here to judge man looks. Damn, yo, what the hell's going on out here? Somebody thought this was a dating show? The real King George. Watch Jake Paul fight against AJ. John Parham. Bro has boxing in his name and trolling. Philly Talk TV, bro. Ryan looked good last night. He looked real good, man. This is a weight class where, just like Haney, it looks like he got to his point. It looked like he got to where his body is where it's supposed to be at. Because if you think about Devin Haney, he looked like the best version of himself against Brian Norman Jr. with power. Now you got to add power to that. And Ryan Garcia, the same thing. I mean, we always known about his power. But he looked like the best version of himself at welterweight. And did you see that right hand? That right hand was serious, going to the body with the right hook, bang. The right hand up top. A little bit of looping, kind of looping hook to the dome piece of Barrios, bang. I don't know if you caught it, but Barrios will be blocking. That looping hand will come from around the gloves. Bang! Catch him right there. Bang! Yo, Ryan Garcia is showing us that at 147, he's a force to be reckoned with. Gotta accept it. Philly Talk TV. He didn't use the left hook. The right was booming. See? And he knew that they were going to prepare for that left hook. He knew that Barrios was going to keep that hand up and block a lot of those. But they wasn't prepared for that right. Damn, that right was catching them. Nasty. John Pound. What y'all think about the outburst at Clarissa Shield Conference? Real or staged? I mean, I saw Clarissa Shields going off afterwards, so to me it looked real, but, you know, I don't know. It looked pretty real to me, to be honest. It's like Conor. Yeah, some of these fighters at 135, back, they were struggling a lot to make it. Now 147 is their best weight class. Because if you think about it, man, Devin Haney, he showed up to a few weigh-ins like, looking like he'd been starving for weeks. Ryan Garcia too. So at welterweight, they look strong. They actually, look, Ryan Garcia didn't even go all the way to 147. He was 146.5. So he made weight comfortably and looked strong. Looked super strong. Zay, Shakur and Ryan will be a boring fight. Zay need 24-hour break. You need to, you feeling too negative. You feeding too much negative vibes. Take a 24-hour break and watch us. Enjoy the show. John Parham, 24. Bam. Zay, hold it down over there. John Parham, I think Ryan training with Benavidez camp showed last night. I mean, we have to assume that was a tough training camp. That team is known for being tough. So it worked out for the best, that's for sure. The real King George, go back to sleep. You take a little 24-hour break. Take a nap. Wes Dustin, that's true, John. The Blue Baron, salute. Bam. John Parham, Zay lost his paper on Barrios. Now, you see, that's the thing. If you would have been saying everything that you're saying this morning, okay, cool. You were saying that yesterday. But you wasn't saying none of that shit yesterday. Now you got a whole new theory and a whole new logic. After Barrios get his ass whooped, stop it. Take the L. That's it. Just handle it. But honestly, my peoples, I really want to see how it plays out going forward because Shakur Stevenson versus Ryan Garcia, that's a big, big fight, man. And I really hope that they can make it happen. Because the predictions will be all over the place on this one. There's going to be people saying Shakur's going to cook him, make him look easy. And there's going to be people saying Ryan Garcia's going to knock him out. He's going to catch him with that big shot. He's going to hurt him and he's going to stop him. They're going to be all over the place. But you guys already know. I know what's going to happen. I know how this fight is going to play out. Again, y'all, Frank the Ghost Martin. This fight right here, man, I don't know, my peoples. It was a draw, but at the end of this fight, it looked like the Ghost man was going to take a L. Hustlers Anonymous. Somebody need to unify at 147. I think we're going to see some unification fights, bro. I think we're going to see it, but what I'm expecting for Ryan Garcia is for him to fight Shakur Stevenson next. I prefer that over a unification. I want that fight. Philly Talk TV. It might take some time, but this has to happen in the next 3 years. I want to see guys unify. But Ryan Garcia versus Shakur Stevenson, man, I really want to see that fight. And you know what? Ryan is going to capitalize. He's going to capitalize because he's a world champion. Obviously, he's at the top. Finally made it. There were a lot of people say he could not do, he would not do. How many times you see people posting about he's a bum and he's not all that, he's a hype job, he didn't beat nobody. Now he's a world champion. So, of course, he's going to fight. Look to make big, big fights. Shakur Stevenson is one of them. Devin Haney's a big fight too, by the way. But he said the ship has sailed. Devin said the ship has sailed. Could he have a change of mind? We never know. Because that's a very much anticipated rematch. Everybody. And you imagine now a rematch with them two as a unification fight, two world champions. Big, big fight. But Devin Haney said the ship has sailed. Shakur Stevenson said, I'll fight you at 144. This could happen. West does it. Shakur is hot right now. Ryan been popping. This will be a major fight. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's the perfect timing because they're both coming off of big wins. Shakur Stevenson beat a guy who a lot of people said was going to beat him, who a lot of people said was going to dish him his first L. Made him look easy. And then Ryan Garcia, y'all seen it. Every day in Boxing for Breakfast, people saying that he was going to get knocked out. He was going to get made to look easy. He was going to get beat up. And look what he does. Hustlers Anonymous. What about Ryan versus d0g, part 2? I mean, that's a great fight. I think we all want to see that rematch. But Devin is saying that he's not, that the ship sailed on this fight, that he's not going to fight Ryan. So, let's see. Philly Talk TV. Shakur should have walked in the ring last night. He didn't walk in the ring. You're right. He should have walked in the ring. But they met up. They met up in the back. And they talked. They talked a little bit. John Parham, Jay Smith. You hear anything about Ryan testing positive? Is anybody saying that? Are they posting that already on social media? Because I haven't heard anything about that. So, we'll see. I would expect that people, even if he doesn't test positive, they will say that. Simply because the moment he won, I saw people posting, oh, Oster Ryan, he really does good when he's on the Osterin. So people that said that they're automatically going to put that on him. Shakur is just dropping by on my way to service. Salute, family. Bam. And salute to everybody who hit the like button, man. I know there's a lot of people that refuse to hit the like button because Mario Barrios got his ass kicked. If you was telling me that Mario Barrios was going to beat Ryan Garcia, you should be the first one hitting the like button. And listen to me the next time. Shakur, yeah, they be hating. The hate is real. John Parham, I just saw something pop up. Gonna look it up. If I'm not mistaken, Ryan Garcia and Mario Barrios were both involved in vital testing. If I'm not mistaken. This is going to happen, especially when Ryan Garcia, he's not just one of the biggest stars in boxing. He's one of the fighters that got the most haters. He's one of the guys that got the most haters in boxing. So you're going to see the fake narratives and the fake stories. And that's just part of it. The real King George. People are going to hate regardless of who the fighters are, of course. But the bigger the name, the bigger the star, the more the hate. Ryan Garcia gets a lot of it. West Dustin, Garcia stole the Conor Benn fight from Shakur last night. Nah, Conor Benn wasn't going to happen already because Conor Benn was a goofball. He said that he wanted $20 million to go on a rehydration clause. And it's like, well, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? $20 million for a rehydration clause? Like, that's more money than you ever made for a fight, bro. You want that type of money for the rehydration? So the ship sailed on that fight, for sure. And it's like I told you, Ryan and Shakur been cooking up this fight perfectly and set the stage. Why? Because as soon as Shakur won, Ryan was already saying, I'll fight him, I'll fight him. And then he took it a step further. Oh, when I win, I'll fight him at a catchweight 144. And Shakur responds, 144, let's do it. So they already going back and forth on social media. Now they fight. Now Ryan Garcia becomes a world champion while Shakur is right there sitting in the crowd. And he specifically says, Shakur, let's get it. And you see Shakur smiling like, let's do it. This is a big, big fight. And it looks very possible that we're going to get it. Too hard to handle. Boxing is so rigged. Ryan should have been fighting for a belt. I got a feeling you had Barrios winning that fight. Be honest, be honest. Don't lie about it. You have Barrios winning that fight, so this is the next argument that you got. But we have to accept it. Ryan Garcia became whether you agree with it or not, we have to accept that he became a world champion. Not an email champ, not gifted. He beat a world champion to hold that WBC strap. So regardless of the narrative that you want to follow, he's a world champion. People got to respect it. Shakur Hansen. Yes, the catchweight for sure. And they're talking about he got to eat steak and burgers to make 144. John Parham. 78 Sports TV dropped something saying Ryan test was positive. Okay. 78 Sports TV. Honestly, I don't know them, bro. To me, they're not going to be a reliable source because I don't know. I got to see somebody else. Like, I feel like if I go watch that video, it's going to be their speculation and shit. Like, yeah, yo, I think that he did. And it's not going to have, like, that's probably going to be some clickbait type shit. And I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is, right? But I feel like it's going to be some clickbait type shit to get you to watch the video. And then there's no actual evidence in the video of it happening. It's just them putting it in the description and shit. Herminio, facts. Ryan did that. Mr. Phipps, that's right. That right hand looks great. Did you see the straight? He had the straight right hand down the pipe, but he also had a little looping joint. And that looping one, you saw it on the replay a couple of times. Barrios will be blocking himself, and the looping one will go right around the gloves, bing, and catch him right there to the top of the dome piece. Yo, those shots hurt. And a hard puncher like Ryan, he had Mario Barrios twisted with those shots. Because he would throw it down the middle, and then he'd catch him off guard with the looping one. Bang! Right to the dome piece. Trust me, you feel those. I've been caught with a shot like that before. Too hard to handle. Ryan just had a loss. That's right. But he just had a win to become a world champion. Hustlers Anonymous, he's right. He got beat by Rolly and was immediately the contender for a champion the next fight. A little sus. It is a different sanctioning body. But whether it's sus or not, he's a world champion. I know you guys kind of want to cling on to that. He's a world champion. He beat a world champion. That's what just happened right now. John Wayne, everyone going to say Ryan on something after the first round knockdown. And it was with the right hand too. Take this, haters. Let me give you something else to hate about. Bing! The right hand to the dome piece. Big Boss. And he was hitting him to the body with the right. Ooh, behind the jab too. Bang! Hard shots that was landing flush behind the guard. Oof. Mr. Phipps. nodding his head up. Man, listen, Barrios must have looked like Martin Lawrence in the dome piece. Nodded up. John Parham, Superman. Haney D-Writers. Damn, the Haney D-Writers in the building. Too hard to handle. Who gets a shot at the belt when you lose? So yeah, boxing is dead. Damn, boxing is dead. All right, so peace out. Go to a different... What are you doing in a boxing YouTube channel when boxing is dead? Take a 24-hour break and come back tomorrow and explain it to me. Boxing is dead, but you're over here on Boxing for Breakfast. How you sound? How do you sound? Look at yourself in the mirror and repeat that shit. Yo, boxing is dead, man, but I'm watching Boxing for Breakfast this morning. What are we doing? Big boss. People saying he should have got a shot at the belt. That's the promoter's job. I mean, the promoter got him a shot at the belt. And he won. Walked out of there with the dub. Come on. Why do people hate? Look, here's the deal. Ryan Garcia is going to get hate similar to what Shakur gets. And I'm going to tell you why. No, they're not on the same path. Of course, Shakur is a lot more accomplished. Ryan Garcia just won his first title. But I'm going to tell you why they get similar hate. The narrative on Shakur Stevenson is that he didn't fight nobody. He didn't beat nobody. He ain't do nothing. Everybody that he fought is a nobody. Now he beats Shakur. Now he beats Teofimo Lopez. It's just like, damn, how I'm going to hate on him now? Shit. People just need to figure out an angle to hate. Oh, he could have knocked him out. He didn't go for it. He didn't do enough. He could have did more. He could have... Teofimo's not really the same anymore. Like, there's always going to be an angle to try to hate on you. So now you see Ryan Garcia becomes a world champion. There's going to be people now either... We already saw it. Oh, Barrios ain't know that. We already saw the discrediting of Mario Barrios. What's going to be next? Well, he didn't really beat nobody. He hasn't done, he still ain't done. But Ryan Garcia really shiznitted on all the haters. Because you've been saying this whole time, he'll never be a champion. And he became a world champion. Damn, that must be tough. Vondi Gaming. Why Ryan don't want a Rolly rematch? Honestly, I don't know. I don't know, but... You know, Shakur Stevenson is a way bigger fight. Way, way bigger fight. Like, if he could fight Rollies or Shakur, Shakur is the option. Plus, right now, there's a possibility that Rollies is working on a fight with Conor Benn. I think that's what we're going to see for Conor Benn for his debut on Zuffa Boxing, which, by the way, is a one-fight deal. They reportedly paying him $15 million for one fight on Zuffa Boxing. And I think it's going to be with Rollies. Conor Benn versus Rollies. Romero. We're going to get that fight. But we digressed. Where is Ryan Garcia now after becoming a world champion? Because a lot of people saying that he hasn't done anything. Now that he did something, where is his place in boxing? Is it the end of people having the balls to say that he's a bum? Is it the end of that, at least? Vondi Gaming, he most likely loses both. Reef J, JP, you trash. The real King George. John, where's your hydro boy at? The hydro grind. Where's the hydro grind, my peoples? Shackle hands, John. Bro, you know you can't talk about Bill. My peoples. They got to give Ryan Garcia his credit. Give him his credit. Come on, he's a world champion right now. And that's what's going to hurt a lot of people's feelings. That they're not going to be able to say, this was an email title, it was gifted, he got it by mail. They can't say none of that. He got that title inside the ring. Put the beats on Mario Barrios. Should have been listening. should have been listening to me, my peoples. Ryan showed out, and could potentially be involved. Reef J, salute, bam, could potentially be involved in another big fight in boxing with Shakur Stevenson. Skip a Clipper. Barrios disappointed me. I had him by decision. Oh, Skip a Clipper, you should have been listening to me. You've been around long enough. Why would you go against Jay Stradamus? Why would you do this to yourself, bro? Come on, you're not new over here. Mr. Phipps. Ryan mentally looked better last night as well. Man, he looked good. He looked sharp. And the thing about mentally is that Ryan Garcia has, this personality, right? Where you also don't know when he's just trolling, when he's having a good time. And you're thinking, oh my God, he's messed up in the head. And he's just having a good time out there. So you never really know when he's dealing with stuff and when he's just joking around. Plus, he showed it when he fought Devin Haney. And I said this to people before, just because somebody is struggling mentally with mental health issues doesn't mean that they can't step in the ring and perform at the highest level. That's not going to change that. They can still go in there and be the best version of themselves. One thing, though, there was people saying Ryan is not focused because, look, he's in all these podcasts. When he's supposed to be in training camp, he's coming out in all these shows and all these different things on social media. So there was that, that idea out there that he's not focused in training camp. And you have to understand, Ryan Garcia has been a star for a long time already, one of the biggest stars in boxing. So this is what he does. He's used to doing that. He's used to being in front of the cameras and doing all these interviews and all these shows and all. This is what he's been doing for years. Ryan Garcia is the first boxing social media star. He's the first guy. But let me tell you something. Ryan Garcia is one of the most disrespected fighters in boxing. And I'm going to tell you why. He's one of the most disrespected. I want you to think about this. The whole narrative that he's a YouTuber, that he's a social media star, that he's just, that's what he is. He ain't a boxer like that. I want you to think about this. Ryan Garcia won a bunch of national tournaments as an amateur boxer. He actually has that pedigree. It's not like he just showed up out of nowhere. This dude been boxing since he was like 6 years old, bro. Like 6. He grew up boxing. Man, it's a little boy. Been boxing most of his life. People act like Ryan Garcia just showed up in boxing at 26, 27. Like he's a Jake Paul. This guy got an amateur pedigree, bro. And then as a professional, he's been fighting. Look at the resume already. He already fought Tank Davis, Devin Haney, a world champion in Mario Barrios, Rollies. Look at the resume. Being about that smoke when people used to say that he was scared. Remember when he pulled out of the fight with Fortuna? People were like, oh, he's scared of Fortuna. He's scared. He's scared of Fortuna. Then they finally fought. He stopped him. So Ryan Garcia has been getting disrespected by people. He's been dealing with the disrespect. And now look, becomes a world champion. Now what? So I'm not surprised that he became a world champion. I told you guys before. I made my prediction, obviously, yesterday. It took me some time to make it, but I made it, and I told you. But even before I made that prediction, I've been telling you guys, Ryan Garcia is going to become a world champion. He's going to become a world champion at some point. And yesterday, I pulled the trigger on that prediction. I was like, yeah, this is it right here. It's his time. The real King George, besides Jake Paul. No, but Ryan Garcia was looked at as a social media boxer before Jake Paul even stepped in the ring. That narrative always followed him. Riff J, Ryan was in solid shape and conditioning. I'll give him that. And I compare Ryan Garcia to what we saw with Devin Haney. Because with Devin, think about this, Reef J. Devin Haney, we've seen him, be fast. And we've seen the footwork. We've seen all the tools that he got in the bag. But at 147, now he added power to all of that. Everything he does, plus now he got power. So I think Devin Haney, his frame, his body, got to that weight class where he's the best version of himself. I think Ryan Garcia at 147 is the same thing. He's the best version of Ryan Garcia because now he's not struggling to make weight. Coincidentally enough, both of those fighters, we seen them show up to fights like this, looking like they starved for weeks to make weight. And they both look strong at the welterweight division. The real King George. Ryan has more accolades than anyone. B-Skull, this is the road to Devin Haney rematch. It could be the road to the rematch, but there's that but. Devin Haney says the ship has sailed. Maybe Ryan Garcia winning a title make him change his mind. Andre Whoop. It's kind of crazy how people love you winning, but when you losing, people betray you. That's a fact. That is a fact. A lot of fans, they look, I'm going to tell you something. That's why I give credit to two fan bases. I give credit to the UK fans on this one. They guys could have 2-3 losses and they still support that guy all the way to the end. They guy lose, they might throw bottles at the winner and throw shit at the winner. They support their guy. And Mexican fans, it's like if you their guy, it don't matter how many times you lose, they right there. So that really is mostly, and I don't want to be controversial with this, but honestly, that's mostly the American fan base that does that shit. Look at Errol Spence. Where's the Errol Spence fans? That man took a L. They all threw him under the bus. Oh, he washed. He not good anymore. He not the same. See? That's the difference. UK fans be like, he's going to be back. He's going to be stronger than ever. He's going to... Mexican fans, oh, he's going to be back. Orale, stronger than ever. But shit, man, American fans be like, nah, he's washed. He ain't the same no more. He cooked anyways. Like, what the fuck? You went from he the big fish to he ain't the same no more. Just like that. The real King George, Sunday morning vibes, 44 like. Great job, guys. Lord Dog, a lot of people turned their back on Wilder. Bro, they did Wilder dirty. Dirty. Wilder went from being the biggest thing in boxing to he ain't nobody. He's a bum. He's a hype. They're like, what the fuck? Reef J, still rocking with the big fish. But you know what I'm talking about. If you still rocking with the big fish, you know what I'm talking about. A lot of people ain't rocking with you like that, like they was before when he had them 3 belts and was undefeated. It's like people went and disappeared. And that's part of boxing. We live in an era where you take a loss, and if it's a bad loss especially, and people want to just discard you, throw you aside like that's it. He a bum, and they start saying all type of stuff about you. Look at Teofimo Lopez. Lost to Shakur Stevenson. And look how people going at him. Reef J, yeah, folks switched up on EJ and Wilder like crazy. But that's what I'm trying to tell you, Reef J. UK fans, they don't be doing it. I mean, at least I don't see them doing that on social media. And Mexican fans. When they guy lose, they rocking with they guy heavy till the wheels fall off. A boss forever. You see Crawford besides Oscar or Lady, potential Crawford versus Ryan fight in a year? Nah, we won't see that. That will never even be a conversation for that. Crawford is retired. He's not fighting anybody. You're good. You can forget about that. Rip J, look how folks switched up on fighters when they win in an off night. That's right. You win and you don't dominate. Oh my God. You got exposed. You got gifted a win. You really lost that fight. All type of shit. Mr. Phipps, the kid Amari Jones was impressive last night. Amari Jones can fight. He can fight, man. I've seen already a few of his fights, and they bringing him up nicely. That development process. When we see him fighting for a title shot, he's gonna make noise. He one of those. John Wayne, salute Box Hunter. I'm out of here. Keep it up, brother. Salute, family. Bam. Sly Counter, what do you think about Martin versus Albright? So, it's crazy because that's the only fight that I said was going to be an easy win. I was like, yo, Frank Martin going to cook this guy. Albright can fight, but, he has a very low knockout percentage, a couple of losses. Frank Martin's going to knock him out. And honestly, when that last bell rang, I didn't know who won the fight. When that last bell rang, I was like, damn, who won this? Who won this fight? I honestly couldn't tell. It was that close, that competitive. Albright was putting hands on Frank the Ghost Martin. Ultimately, it was a draw. Maybe they'll run it back. It was a good fight. Good fight. And I don't know if you were here yesterday. I told people, Antuane Russell, there you go right there, Frank the Ghost Martin and Albright. I think Frank was happy that he got that draw, bro. For real. But I also told you guys, Antuane Russell was going to be involved in a tough fight because this brother right here gave me those vibes. That's the vibes that I got from this dude right here. And I said it before, man. I've been watching boxing, over 30 years. And every time that I see an undefeated Japanese fighter, and then he had a high knockout percentage, they always turn out to be for real. Because fighters, sometimes you see a fighter here undefeated, and he step up looking like a goofball. It's like, how this guy make it to undefeated this far? But them Japanese fighters, I'll be telling people, over there in Japan, and that's a mistake that people make because, here on this side of the world, we see losses and it's like, oh, yeah, he lost. But over there in Asia, they fighting each other. So guys that are really good are taking 2, 3, even 3 losses early on because they're all, the guys that are elite level type shit, they fighting each other early. So when you see a Japanese fighter that's 20-0, this guy's 20-something-0. But you see a Japanese fighter that's 20-0, he's been through the ringer. He's been through tough fights already. But when you look at the resume, you're like, yeah, he beating guys that took losses. But you don't understand. A lot of them guys that he beat, even though they took losses, they mad nice. So these fighters, they always end up showing out. And I was like, this dude right here is going to give Antuane Russell some problems. And you saw it yesterday, man. It was a good, tough, competitive fight. Mr. Phipps, do you think Amari Jones will make noise in the future? I do. He got the skill set. If he stays disciplined and they keep doing, going through that development process as they are, you got to bring him up slow. You can't rush him. I think that he's going to make noise. A boss forever. You're right about the UK fans. That wolf fight was crunk. Gotta go to church. Y'all have a blessed day. Salute, family. Bam. Slight counter. I'd like to see Duarte versus Pitbull at 140 next. Cass. Salute, family. Top of the morning. Bam. Duarte versus Pitbull. Nah, look, I hope that they reschedule Duarte versus Hitchens. Reschedule that fight, make it happen. JJ said that's exactly Jay Smith. In other countries, these fighters don't come up cherry picking. Bam! You see, that's what I'm trying to say. These Japanese fighters, they fighting each other out there. And they fighting tough opposition. So whenever they come stateside and we don't really know them like that, you see that undefeated record, they always turn out to be monsters. Always. Cass, facts. People have to stop putting so much emphasis on that O. And they do that. They do that. Look, the thing is that the United States is the mecca of boxing. So because of it, if in the U.S. people putting emphasis on that O, it kind of ripples to everywhere else, right? But if you see how they matching them up in Japan, how they matching them up in Mexico, guys that are real good fighters are taking L's. And some of them are taking L's early in their career. If you see Japanese fighters, they be mad nice. And they got a loss that they took in their first 5 fights. And then remain undefeated after that. So they don't put as much emphasis on staying undefeated. Everybody wants to stay undefeated. But you're not going to wait till you got 25 fights in to face a tough opponent. They matching them up early. So when you see an undefeated record from a Japanese fighter, assume that he's dangerous every time out. Every time out, assume this guy's dangerous. He's been facing tough opposition to get to that record. The real King George, let's get to 60 likes. Almost 50, my people. We've been going at it for almost an hour and a half. Double tap that screen. So it was a very tough fight. Ultimately, look, Antuane Russell walked out of there with the W, but he had to earn that. I told you guys yesterday. It's not going to be an easy win. So that happening. And there's some people on social media that hit me up like, nah, Antuane Russell going to make it look easy. No, sir. No easy fight for sure. But there you have it, my peoples. Ryan Garcia becomes a world champion. And I want to say, man, look, salute to Ryan Garcia. Salute to Golden Boy for putting this together, making that fight happen. And that's what I expected. I ultimately saw Ryan Garcia becoming a world champion. I've said it before. I made my prediction yesterday because I wanted to put that in there. And it finally happened. So salute to Ryan Garcia, becomes a world champion. And hopefully we will get that Ryan Garcia versus Shakur Stevenson fight next. There is no need to marinate this one. No need to marinate it. That's it. They already did the marinating. They already seasoned it. With their back and forth on social media, this fight already got seasoned. Wes does it. Gary has a great offensive style that can make this kind of fight possible. Look, man, Antuane Russell has a great style, has good hand speed. Great hand speed. Look, without that hand speed, Antuane Russell would have lost this fight. He would have lost that fight. But the hand speed got him through it. And he can take a shot. That's the one thing, my people. When we look at elite level fighters, we only think about all the things that they do offensively and defensively as well. But part of it is you being able to take a shot. You're going to get hit. If you're really, really good defensively, you're not going to get hit a lot. You're not going to get hurt in every fight. But you're going to get hit at one point or another. And you got to take it. Bro right here landed some nasty shots throughout this fight on Antuane Russell. And he had to take it. Mr. Phipps, all the Russells are pretty good. That's a fact. John Parham, Gary has a solid team around him. Yes, sir. He got Big Brother right there, world champion in his corner and the whole team. That's why, look, there's a lot of opponents that we want to see with Antuane Russell. And there's a lot of guys that's right there, right around the corner. Shakur Stevenson is right there for now. Matter of fact, we can forget about Shakur. Shakur is going to fight Ryan Garcia at 144. That's what we can expect to happen. Shakur Stevenson, Ryan Garcia, at a catchweight. But there's a lot of action at 140. By the way, I think Teofimo Lopez is going to end up going to Zuffa boxing. Remember the other day on the Zuffa card, I was like, oh, Teofimo Lopez is in the building. So Conor Benn was at one of their events and then boom, announced that he's for Zuffa boxing. Teofimo Lopez was at one of their events. So we're going to start seeing fighters show up over there and then shortly after announce that they were Zuffa boxing. Somebody posted that Teofimo Lopez and Brian Norman Jr. could be looking to fight each other next. I don't think that's the best fight to make for Brian Norman Jr. coming off of a loss, my opinion, because he's the bigger guy, the naturally bigger guy, been at welterweight first, but I think Teofimo beats him. But Brian Norman Jr. and Teofimo Lopez could both be headed to Zuffa boxing to fight each other. That's a possibility. The real King George, all Russells. Russell Wilson is not the best, but he's a good QB. The Hydro Grind, good morning, my people. Oh, the Hydro Grind is in the building. Bam, the Hydro Grind. What do you think about Ryan Garcia finally becoming a world champion? Proving the haters wrong. So many people said that he couldn't do it, that he wouldn't do it. He's now the WBC world champion. Cass, yeah, I got Teo in that matchup with Brian Norman. I'm trying to tell people Brian Norman Jr. is not ready for Teofimo Lopez. And coming off of a loss, I don't like that. The Hydro Grind, amazing performance from Ryan Garcia. Gotta give him his credit, for sure. Greg Sims, Jay Smith, your predictions were spot on. What up with Caleb Plant? Is he gonna fight soon? Triple threat, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about Caleb. PBC fighters are not getting a lot of fights right now. So, I don't know, to be honest. Unless he go to Zuffa or go with somebody else, I don't know. I try to tell him, Greg. I try to tell him about Ryan Garcia. Try to tell him he was going to win this fight. They didn't want to believe it. They didn't want to digest that Ryan Garcia was going to become a world champion. Well, here he is. The stocks for Ryan Garcia have gone like this. Skyrocketed. Skyrocketed. Just consider the fact that Ryan is one of the biggest stars in boxing already. He's already one of the biggest stars in boxing. And now he becomes a world champion, which was one of the things that people had on him. Like, oh, yeah, but he ain't no champion. He ain't never win no belt. He ain't never... Oh. Now he's a world champion. Golly, what people say he couldn't do, what they thought he couldn't do, that's exactly what he did. He did just that. Mr. Phipps, time for church. Salute, my brother. Bam. Wes Dustin, Charlo and Plant can go ahead and get that retirement fight on. They always had those little back and forth between them, man. I don't know why we didn't get that fight. It always felt like they was going to fight. And, you know, Plant done got aggressive on them. Plant be out there slapping people. That fight should have been happening. The Hydro Grind, in my opinion, Ryan looked even better than versus Haney last night. Completely focused and incredible accuracy. Look, man, Ryan Garcia yesterday looked like the best version of himself. But you also have to remember, Devin Haney also looked like the best version of himself. So it looks like the welterweight division is where Ryan and Devin, their body are both at their best. They both look strong, fast, sharp. So a rematch in that division would be interesting, to say the least. John Parham, if Plant had a gas tank, he'd be nice. Joe Jacket from Tennessee, Abdullah Mason has a glass chin. Now I gotta disagree with you. Did you see Abdullah Mason and Sam Noakes? He took some monster shots. Never even wobbled. Wes Dustin, plan is built for 6 rounds of action. 6 rounds of letting the hands fly, then cooked. Is that what you saying? He don't got no energy? Joe Jacket, bust that like, my peoples. Let's get it. Hell yeah. Look, I'm going to tell you guys like this. Ryan Garcia's win over Mario Barrios has set the stage for what is going to be one of the biggest fights in boxing. And that's Ryan Garcia versus Shakur Stevenson. In 2026, I promise you, that will be one of the biggest fights. It's going to be super anticipated once they announce it. And what makes it so big is that right now, they're both world champions. They're both coming off of big wins. Their stock is like this, up. So for them to fight each other next, and they've been going at it on social media, the timing is perfect. The timing for Ryan Garcia and Shakur Stevenson to face each other is right now. Then you saw Ryan Garcia beat Mario Barrios. What did he do? Said that he want to fight Shakur. Joe Jacket, I don't believe Ryan can get Shakur Stevenson. You don't think he could beat him? But I promise you, there's going to be people saying that Ryan wins that fight. People will be predicting Ryan's favor. I think Shakur will move up. They agreed to a catch weight. Although they agreed on it on social media. You know, that's not real negotiations. But I'm pretty sure that Shakur will be willing to fight him at a catch weight. And by the way, Ryan Garcia was the first one to bring up the catch weight. He actually posted, let's get it, let's do catch weight 144. And Shakur was like, let's do it. Let's get it. Joe Jacket, Shakur will take away Ryan's jab and make him one-handed. Wes Dustin, one thing you got to say about Ryan, he's willing to fight anybody. That's facts. That is 100% facts. The Hydro Grind, I want to see Ryan versus Rolly rematch to unify the titles. And then Haney, Ryan versus Haney for the 3 titles. Damn, the Hydro Grind, you hate Shakur so bad that you don't even want to see him fight. You don't even want Shakur to fight nobody. Just because you had Teofimo Lopez knocking him out, you don't want him to fight nobody? God damn. Riv J, 144 is solid. Shakur go up 4. Ryan go down 3 with no clause. Yeah, that's good. That's good business right there. Wes Dustin. That's the way, Hydra. I agree. Yeah, Wes Dustin, but you also had Teofimo Lopez beating Shakur. Y'all Shakur haters don't want to see him fight nobody. God damn. Shit. Look, I know y'all don't want to see Shakur fight nobody. Y'all don't want to see him be great. Y'all don't want to see him be involved in the biggest fights in boxing and get the big paydays. But that's going to happen. That's the inevitable. Right there. They both expressing interest before the fight. They both expressing interest right after the fight. They both world champions. Both of their stock is way up. It's the perfect timing for them to fight each other. Wes Dustin. Wait, Jay Smith. I can't let you soil my good name, bro. I never had Tio over Shakur. Flag on the play. Damn, baby. Flag on my memory then. Flag on my memory. You sure? Well, if you say so, I believe you. I believe you. Joe Jacket. Winner of this gets Debo. Let's go. And I like that idea. You know, whoever wins this fight, get Devin Haney. But Devin already said the ship sailed with Ryan Garcia, that he don't want to fight him because Ryan wasn't involved in fighting. So I don't know. I don't know if Devin Haney's going to fight Ryan Garcia or not. Wes Dustin, you got me flipping over my workbench. The hydro grind. I just think Shakur looked amazing at 140 and want to see him become undisputed there. I know, but Ryan Garcia looked amazing at 147. Two guys that looked amazing in their last fight. It's the time to fight each other. This don't need to be marinated. John Pound, Hydra, I agree, 140 fits him well. The Hydra grind, Shakur versus Hitchens to unify. That move up to Russell. I don't know. I don't think. Because remember, Richardson Hitchens, he had to pull out of his last fight. They might reschedule that. So if they do, he's still going to fight Oscar Duarte in an upcoming card. But this is the biggest fight right here. This is going to be one of the biggest fights in boxing. Right there. And I want you to see how the tide changes. You remember when nobody wanted to fight Shakur? Nobody wanted to fight Shakur. Look now. Conor Benn, like a clout-chasing goofball, stepped in the ring with Shakur. Ryan Garcia calling out Shakur. And there's other people who want to fight him now. That's what happens when you get to that level where he's at. Now he's at a level where he's going to be able to make a bunch of big fights. Because now they want payday. They want payday. I guarantee you they'll get a huge bag fighting each other. Huge. Wes Dustin. That's going to be a good fight. This year in boxing has been epic so far. John Pam, 2026 been lit. And 2025 was, boxing has been on the up and up. The real King George. Saturday is my debut return in the Special Olympics floor hockey hydra. Ooh. Back in competition. John Pam. Wesley, you watch the prelims. Riv J. Shakur versus Ryan next. Then both go back to the class they're champs in. That could happen. Well, if they fight at a catch weight, Ryan Garcia ain't going to be no champ, bro. That title's going to be on the line. If they fight at 144, that 147 belt will be on the line. Joe Jacket, Keisha been real extra out here trying to fight Debo. He's really trying to get that fight with Devin Haney. But Devin Haney's already talking about moving up. He want to fight Xander Sayers, which I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think Haney versus Sayers is a fight that we'll see. But let's see. Let's see what Devin decides to do next. Wes Dustin. I was back and forth. Daughters in town. Yesterday was lit in my house. Oh, man, I could imagine. But that's fire, man. You get to enjoy the family. That's fire, bro. John Parent. Reeve, you watch the prelims? If so, what dude name who you got stopped? In 4, young brother. The Hydro Grind. Catchweight could. Facts. 144. If they fight at 144, that title will be on the line. Salvador Mosqueda, salute, fam. Must admit, this was the worst performance of Barrios' life, fam. Ryan will always be a dirty boxer who doesn't value test. Facts. Damn, Salvador, but yesterday you told me Barrios was going to beat him up. What happened? This how you coming through right away? God damn. Yesterday, Barrios was going to beat him up. Today, that was his worst performance. You should have said that yesterday. It's too late for you to come with that. Take that out. Reef J, ideas. Joe Jacket. Is Floyd coming back or is it all talk? If so, who makes a fight that we want to see? So, supposedly Floyd Mayweather is coming back. Supposedly he's going to do the exhibition. And after the exhibition, he's going to come back to a real fight. Who is he going to fight? I don't know. My bet right now is that he's going to fight Manny Pacquiao. Why? Because Floyd Mayweather is doing an exhibition with Mike Tyson in April. And Manny Pacquiao is doing an exhibition with Ruslan Probotnikov also in April. So they're going to do an exhibition the same month. Is that a coincidence? I don't know. I don't know, but I think that'll just set the stage for them two to fight each other in a real fight. The rematch. The rematch that we never got, we might actually get. Floyd Mayweather already floated the idea of him coming back to a professional fight. I thought it was crazy that he would put his all on the line. But him and Manny Pacquiao, they're right around the same age. If he's going to come back and fight professionally, fight somebody that's close to your age. You know, that would be my take. John Parham, Raven. He's 15-0 with 14 knockouts on the Oscar. Wes Dawson, Floyd could fight Ryan. I don't think so, honestly. I don't think so. I mean, Ryan is a world champion, and I know that he would get a huge bag for fighting Floyd Mayweather, but I don't see that happening. George Atkins, Floyd versus Pac. It's a mad fight to me. But I'm telling you, George Atkins, a lot of people will tune in to watch that fight. That will be a big, big fight. We'll see this narrative of people saying that fight, because we know that obviously they're both washed. But still, when the fight happens, people will tune in. Think about it. You tune in for sure, right? I'm going to tune in for sure. Everybody in here is going to tune in for sure. So you multiply that effect. A lot of people are going to be watching just to see how it plays out, just out of curiosity. John Parham, Joe, it will definitely sell. JT, pay-per-view price for that will be crazier than the last time. I mean, I don't know what the pay-per-view would be on it because, okay, neither one of them are champion, but the intrigue of wanting to see these guys fight. I won't be surprised the pay-per-view $90 and shit. $95, some crazy like that. Salvador, Floyd coming back and will make it look easy. John Parham, all these boxing junkies in here, but nobody knows who I'm talking about. The Habibi, I know who you're talking about, man. I just don't know his name by heart. You talking about the Habibi guy, Youngblood. George Jack and John, we will never see Buff fight again. Look, man, I wanted to see Crawford fight again just like everybody else. I can tell you that. But I respect his decision. He says he's out of boxing. He says he's done. I respect that, and I support it. Like, you accomplish everything, because we want to see him fight again, but we're not the one getting punched in the face. We're not the one that could end up punch drunk, you know. I'm looking at Crawford like, you know what? He's 38 years old. This is the time to be calling it a day. This is the time. Don't be fighting, you know, into your 40s and after, and then regret it down the line. You're not going to enjoy your money. All that money that you made, you're not going to enjoy it. Somebody else's, because your brain cooked. So I'm good with it. You know, the moment he says I'm retired, I accepted it. Salvador, facts. Crawford deserves it. He deserves it, man. He went out on top. You can't go, you can't, you know, get any higher. #1 pound-for-pound fighter of the year, biggest win of the year, undisputed champion of 3rd division. You can't go any higher. John Parham. Nah, he a brother under Oscar. He stopped dude in 4th. Anthony, do you think Crawford is coming back? Crawford definitely not coming back. He's staying retired. The real King George, nope. Johnny, we don't. Most are smarter than Boxing Center in here. He's not coming back. Forget about that. That's what I would say to people. Now, this right here is the man of the hour. Ryan Garcia becomes a world champion against all odds. Not against all odds, but against what a lot of people felt like. You know, a lot of haters. Ryan Garcia is one of those big names, big stars who people just never wanted to accept his talent. They never really wanted to see how good Ryan Garcia actually is. And he proved it. I'm going to be honest, man, and this is no cap, but every time I've said someone is going to become a world champion, they've always accomplished it. Always, I've never said someone is going to become a world champion, and it didn't happen. Never. I still remember when I told people Rayo Valenzuela was going to become a world champion. They were like, nah, yo, he's not going to do it, because they watched him lose. So they're like, people see a fighter lose, and they're like, nah, he don't got it in him. Reef J, I thought you was talking about somebody else. George Jacklin, no one in the barbershop will bet on Barrios this week. Ryan Dad being back might be the key. Look, man, I can tell you this right now. A lot of people on social media have Barrios winning that fight. In fact, Conor Benn was watching the fight looking like a goofball. Because I don't know how much he put on Barrios. If it was 10,000, 50,000, he put a nice chunk of money on Barrios to beat Ryan Garcia. Posted his ticket and everything. And then you're watching Conor Benn watching the fight like this. Like you could tell he was mad. Like, damn, man, this motherfucker's gonna win, making me look goofy as hell right now. Salvador, wasn't Ryan suspended by the WBC for his racist remarks? Yeah, but damn, that was a long time ago, bro. God damn. That was last year. Anthony Mali, how about Tank? I mean, Tank got to deal with his legal situation, and then we'll see. We'll see when he comes back. I told people, it's not like this is done. He's only 30 years old. He's not going to do a bunch of time in prison. So he'll be back, and he'll be in the conversation again. But for now, you know, it's the guys who's actually accomplishing. Right now, Ryan Garcia, world champion. Shakur Stevenson, world champion. Devin Haney, world champion. The young kings are accomplishing in boxing, my people. You got to give them their credit. And Ryan Garcia has always been looked at as the guy who wasn't going to accomplish. You know, and Devin Haney obviously has been doing it. Shakur has been doing it. Finally, Ryan Garcia becomes a world champion. You got to respect it. George Jackson, I don't think Tank is in the right mental space. It's like he's trying to be powerful and pitiful at the same time. Let's see, man, because Tank is such a talented fighter. You know what he can do inside the ring. We just got to hope that his personal life, he get everything in order. And is able to come back to doing what he loves to do, which is boxing. John Parham, not right now for sure. Let's not leave out Rolly. He's a champion too. Yes, sir. Rolly's Romero. He's a world champion, and he beat Ryan Garcia. Before this fight, he beat Ryan Garcia. So it shows you where Rolly's at this point. And it's true, that's disrespectful that I didn't mention him. It's like, we leave him out. Can't be leaving Rolly's out. Come on now. He's one of the young champions too. But boxing is real interesting right now. You know, 140, 147, 135. Those divisions right there, 154 too, man. Golly. Nasty at 154. It's like everybody ready to knock everybody out over there. Salvador, exactly. He beat Ryan. So did this chump get a title shot. It was a different sanctioning body. It's not the WBC. Andrew Whoop, Keyshawn versus Haney. What's your prediction? Well, I'm not, you know, I don't like to make a prediction on fights that are not made. A fight is not made yet. If they sign to fight each other, then I'll have a prediction. But, you know, we don't know that they're going to fight next. So first, I want to see if it's going to happen. Joe Jackson, Rolly was beating Tank up until he wasn't. I mean, and that's the thing. We've seen that with Tank a lot. Guys landing punches, winning rounds, and then go to sleep. Leo Santa Cruz was doing pretty good before he got sent straight to Valhalla. Joe Jackson, I wonder if Ryan is going to pay for that green belt. He's going to pay his sanctioning fee. See, I'm going to explain to you why I'm sure 100% he's going to pay for his sanctioning fee. Number one, Ryan Garcia got a lot of money. He got a lot of money. So when they tell him, give me $100K, they're going to pay that up. Number two, And most importantly, this is his first time winning a title. It's different for Shakur, who's already won titles in multiple divisions, unified title. Now he's the Ring magazine, the Ring champion. He has so much accomplishments that he could say, man, F the WBC. I don't need that shit. But he's already been accomplishing. Ryan Garcia, with this being his first belt ever, he's not just going to give that up. Hell no. He's going to pay that fee. The Hydrogram. Yo, has someone seen the guy Rolly is ducking? I've never heard of him, but been the mandatory for a year, and Rolly has been ducking. That guy's a beast, apparently. What's his name? JT. Who is Ben going to fight now? He was Zulfa. I think he's going to end up fighting Rollies. He was in an interview where he said that he was working on it to fight Rollies, and then afterwards, Ryan Garcia. So that's what I think is going to happen. I think they're already in negotiation, and Rollies is probably going to sign with Zulfa Boxing, maybe a one-fight deal, just like Conor Benn, because Conor Benn got a one-fight deal. So I think we might see Conor Benn versus Rollies Romero. Salvador, Ryan Garcia tested positive and made racial remarks. He will always be a piece of shh in my book. Reef J, Giyasov, Shakram Giyasov. Yeah, I'm not familiar with him, but they say Rolly's duck. Look, I'm going to tell you like this. Right there, I can see part of the reason why Rolly's not trying to fight him. Because it's a name that we're not familiar with. Most of us ain't familiar with that name, right? So once you become a world champion, it's about business. It's about leveraging that championship status for you to get the biggest fights, for you to get the most money. And Shakram Giyasov is not going to be the biggest fight for him because a lot of fans don't even know him. He's going to want to fight somebody with a name. Look, Conor Benn. If he fight Conor Benn next, he's going to get a shitload of money. George Jack in Salvador, we've all said crazy ish sometimes. Don't hate Ryan forever, big dog. No, and I will say, look, there's people who's been around their circle, who's been there, who say, look, Ryan Garcia is not a racist. He's a guy who suffered mental health issues, and he said a lot of crazy stuff because of it. But he got black friends. He hang out with black folks. He had black people in his training staff. So there's nothing about him that is a racist based on the people that's been around him. Because at some point, I was like, yo, if this motherfucker's a racist, I'm not fucking with him no more. I'm done with his ass. And then I started seeing everything that was going on. I was like, okay. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Reef J. Giyasov got step-aside money when both that unified. He been waiting. Damn, man. He been trying to get that opportunity. The Hydro Grind, the WBA said they will strip Rolly if he doesn't fight him. And Rolly keeps dodging questions about that fight. He look like he's not trying to make it happen. But it's like I told you, if you're a world champion, you want to get the biggest names. You want to get the biggest fights. You want to make the most money. And if Rolly has the opportunity to fight Conor Benn for way more money, he'll be happy to tell him, yo, WBA, keep that shit. Tell Giyasov to shove that joint. I'm good. I'm going to fight Conor Benn. That's a bigger name. That's a bigger payday. And it's bigger for my profile. It's all about the money, fellas. The Hydro Grind, the money factor. All about the money. Andrew Wook. I hope this fight card happen next. Shakur versus Ryan. Rolly versus Conor Benn. And Keyshawn versus Swing Haney. That's the nickname I got for him. And Bam versus Naoya Inoue. Damn, you're asking for a lot. It takes too much money to put all them fights in one card. But I can tell you right now, Shakur versus Ryan, that's going to happen next. But it cannot happen on the same card as Conor Benn and anybody because Conor Benn, remember, he's signed with Zulfa Boxing. Ryan Garcia is with Golden Boy. So Ryan Garcia and Conor Benn will not fight on the same card. That won't happen. However, we have to consider the fact that Conor Benn is only on Zuffa Boxing for one fight. We don't know if he's going to sign again with them after that, or if he's going to go back to Matchroom or elsewhere. JT, when we all going to fight, been ages since. Rematch need a trilogy or match with Benavidez. Great fighter, but holding division right now. So he not holding the division. He gave up. He got stripped. He got stripped of one of the titles, right? Because he didn't do his mandatory defense versus David Benavidez. But he had to get surgery. That's why he's out. He actually, I don't remember if it's shoulder or elbow surgery. But he got that surgery and he's been recovering. So, but look, Benavidez has Sudo in front of him. That's his next fight. And he said it that he wants to go back down to 175 to fight Bivol and to fight Barrios. That's what he wants. Joe Jackets, so Rolly will fight Tank. That's NyQuil in his hands. But now he's a duck. Don't make no sense. Honestly, I don't think Rolly's is a duck. I think he just doesn't want to fight somebody who doesn't have a name. Who, you know, he's not a big star. Salvador J. Smith, I wanted to publicly apologize to you because I once told you that you didn't know about boxing. And I was dead wrong. You called it and Crawford made it look easy against Nelo. Appreciate it, bro. And trust me, there's a lot of people. I appreciate it because at least you accept, you know, if I was right about something, there's a lot of people who prefer to just never bring it up again or just ghost watch and not say anything about it. So I appreciate you, my brother. Tay John, what I tell you, Jay Smith, Barrios was the worst champion in boxing. You say he wasn't. It was clear last night. I mean, I said Ryan Garcia was going to win the fight. It's not about best or worst. That's up to opinion. I had Ryan Garcia winning the fight, and he did. Anthony Motley. So, what do you say about Tank versus Davis? Versus Keyshawn Davis? I love that fight. Right now, I would say that's a 50-50 fight. Real talk. Andrew Wood. The old fighters like Manny and Floyd got to stop this coming back stuff and give the young generation fighters their time to shine. They had their time to shine. It's the new generation's time. So, I agree with you. It's like, that's it. Y'all got to move on to whatever else and leave boxing to the young guns. But in a business where you can make so much money, so many millions of dollars, I guess it's hard to not keep coming back. When you can keep making, you know, $50 million, $100 million, $200 million. When you can make that much money and there isn't anything else that Floyd Mayweather or Manny Pacquiao could do in their life to make that type of money. So I also understand why it's hard to just stay gone when you can make these type of career paydays. Imagine if you're a retired boxer, for example, and let's say you own a supermarket, you own a car washing place, you own a few businesses, right? And all of your businesses combined make you $5 million. That's a lot of money. Your businesses are doing good, but then you can go fight somebody for $40, $50 million. It'll take your business 10 years for them to generate the type of money that you're going to make in 30 minutes, 45 minutes. So it's hard to not keep coming back, you know. Like, we're not making that type of money, so for us it's easy to say, yo, just stay retired, just leave it to the young guns. But if I could make $40-something million, $50-something million, I'll be coming back too. We all be coming back, bro. We all be like, man, listen, this is a lot of money. I get to be on the big stage once again. Because that's the one thing about fighting. Once you get those competitive juices flowing, once you get to share the ring with somebody and trade leather, they hit you, you hit them back. Yo, there's nothing like it. Nothing compares to that. I'm 47 years old, bro. And if I can find an opponent that's close to my age, you'll see me fighting again. You'll see me step in the ring again. So that feeling of wanting to fight never goes away. So if Floyd Mayweather is able to get a fight with Manny Pacquiao, they both right around the same age, why not make $100 million? He's going to do the exhibition with Mike Tyson, Joe Black. He's going to do that exhibition, but apparently, after that, he's going to do a real fight. And it's like I told you, like somebody told me, I don't remember who was it, I said, yo, Conor Benn had balls to get in the ring with Floyd. And I said, nah, it don't take no balls to get in the ring with no Floyd. You crazy? If you pay me $1 million, I step in the ring with Floyd. I step in the ring. I'm not saying I'm going to be able to go the distance. I don't have the type of conditioning. Floyd probably stopping me too. But I'm stepping in the ring without a shred of hesitation for $1 million. How much Conor McGregor made to fight Floyd? $200 million? $300 million? It don't take balls to do that. Anybody would want to do that. For that type of money? Joe Blackwell, you fight Mike Tyson? Fight $1 million, I step in the ring with Mike Tyson today. Today. Mike Tyson about to be 60 years old, bro. Like I said, I'm not telling you I'm going to beat him. I might get pummeled. But yeah, I'm stepping in the ring. Pay me, I'm in. JT, what was your career like? Nah, I only had one fight. I only had one professional fight. I lost. I fought when I was 44 years old. For the guy that was 35, 9 years younger than me. So when I was younger, I only fought in the amateurs. For the amateurs, my best accomplishments, I made it to the semifinals of the Golden Gloves, the New York City Golden Gloves. But as a professional, I never fought. And then in my 40s, I met a promoter. I was like, yeah, I got to step in the ring. I got to fight. I don't want to become an old man without ever having stepped in the ring. And I got to do that. George Jackin, Anthony Joshua showed me, leave it to the pros. I don't want that smoke. I told people what Anthony Joshua was going to do to Jake Paul. Told people. He's going to brutalize Jake Paul. I saw it coming. I really saw it happening. My peoples, I'm about to end this episode of Boxing for Breakfast. I want to give a shout out to everybody who tuned in this morning. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. John Parent was in the building. JT, George Jackin, Joel Blackwell, Salvador Salute family. JJ Zendejas was in the building. Anthony Motley, salute my brother. Wes Dussett, Reeve J, and everybody else who tuned in, man. I appreciate you guys. You guys know what this is. This was another episode of Boxing for Breakfast. Once again, the man of the hour, Ryan Garcia. Andrew Whoop, salute family. Ryan Garcia becomes a world champion against all odds. People didn't believe it. They didn't want to accept it. It happens. My peoples, I'm going to see you guys tomorrow for another episode of Boxing for Breakfast, 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Get this healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. I'm Jay Smith. I'm getting the hell out of here, yo. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. Bam!